So first up, we are going to bring Emma Stenhouse. Emma, where you at? Now, give it up for Emma. I think I'm just going to hand it over to you. You've got this. Tell us some stuff, Emma.
That is the definition of the story of my life. Just chuck me in the deep end and watch me swim.
How are you going?
I guess just to give you all a little bit of a background, I am the accidental CEO of my own art company now. I have zero skills in that respect, and like most things, I literally just wing it and hope for the best. So that's exactly what you'll be getting out of me tonight. I do have some slides, and hopefully they'll pop up on the screen very soon. But I guess I'm going to talk to you guys tonight about collaboration, as in working side by side with either organisations or from a commercial perspective. And I've just seen Jordan there, which just reminded me, you were speaking about a punk band performing. I just so happen to be married to the lead singer of a punk band, who is actually touring in Europe in August.
Punk's not dead.
He's not dead, and unfortunately I have to listen to it quite regularly, so I wish it were dead. I didn't say that. Whatever is said in this room stays in this room, right? I guess I just want to talk to you guys today about the good, the bad and ugly of collaboration, because it's not all sunshine and lollipops when you are the driving force behind it. So we might just flick over to the first. That's just so bad, I can't even look at that. Okay, so don't work with brickheads. Now, just so you understand, I'm a bush kid, so if you maybe just think of that word that it starts with a D and has some of the same letters as brick, that's what I normally say. So that advice was given to me by Jerry Ryan, who happens to own Jayco Australia and a million other things, and he's a multi-millionaire, so if it works for old mate Jerry, I'm going to run with that as well. Now, I say that, and I say it often, but you've got to find your people. So you've got to find those people whose values align with you. Particularly when you are the label, so I am Emma Stenhouse Art. I don't want to be associated with someone who turns out to be a brickhead down the track, because that's then going to reflect on me. In saying that, I do all sorts of collaborations, and obviously some are for financial gain. When you collaborate with a corporate, the big wigs, it's a hell of a journey. There's a lot of learning that goes into it. I'm also now a lawyer. I'm actually not, but I know how to do a contract now. And I only did that literally through trial and error, so I had to really take some time and delve into understanding what a contract is and holding people to account. You don't know what you don't know, so you need to educate yourself. That's my first pearl of wisdom. Because people will take advantage, and I was literally a country bumpkin. I grew up in Broken Hill. I'm a chick from the bush. I knew nothing. I'm like, yep, I can paint good stuff, but I don't know how to do marketing, all those sorts of things, and I didn't know how to write a contract. So there are organisations, and if you're an artist in the room or a performer, you would have heard of NAVA, so the National Association for Visual Artists. They have fantastic information. There's also Arts Law. They provide free financial advice. And the Copyright Agency as well. So they're all really good contacts for you to have. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold from last week. So I've worked with done some collaborations with some fairly big, large corporations. So I collaborated with Maya for 5 years. So I had my artwork on homewares. That was a massive learning curve, and no, I'm not rich because of it. Like, as you know, artists get paid pittance. So whilst it was great, for a lot of reasons, it was actually not really that financially, it was financially successful, but in terms of what I actually got from that, my clip of the ticket was actually quite small. So don't let that fool you when you see someone and you think, oh my God, they've made it, they're working with this company. Like, yeah, they're still living on peanuts, which is what happens at my place. So the flip side of that is don't work with brickheads and find your people, and work with people who give you warm fuzzies. So, warm fuzzies. Oh, but I'm an early childhood teacher as well. Sorry, I've just found it. So I've just collaborated with the lovely Katrina, who's going to be speaking a little bit later, and added my 2 bobs worth to her beautiful magazine. So it's about making those connections in your local community and working together to create something that you both hold value in. So that's when I say, you know, make sure that your values align with the people that you're working with. Okay, next slide. Am I talking really fast?
Give Susie a nod. No, you're doing great.
Yeah. Read the fine print, peeps. Don't get yourself locked into a contract that you do not understand. And there are so many people that you can go and get advice. Like, ring me up, I will tell you the nitty-gritty. I can tell you, you know, what something, even though it looks amazing, and you think, oh yep, I'm going to get this, this and this out of it, when you actually read the fine print, you're locked into something that goes for 5 years, and then you've lost your actual control over your collateral or your artwork. So really take the time to delve into something if you are doing a commercial agreement as a collaboration with somebody, because you will get stung otherwise. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, follow the process. So understand, first of all, when you're doing a collaboration, what you bring to the table and value yourself. That's probably my one hard and fast rule, and it's something as a 40-something woman who's perimenopausal and often feels crazy, throw in a dash of ADHD, and they're like, this chick's a whirlwind, she doesn't know what she's doing. Well, actually, yes, I do, and I value myself, so if I'm coming to have a conversation with you, I need you to value me as well, or we are not going to collaborate together. Yeah, okay, next slide. Stacey's looking at me very seriously and nodding along. I'm like, is that the nod to like, hurry up?
No, you're doing great.
Yeah, so protect your IP. So as an artist, and I think Jordan might have alluded to it before, in the age of AI, even if it's not AI, there are plenty of people around who want to copy what you do, and you're supposed to be really flattered by that. And it's like, oh, that's great, you know, you must be so good, someone's copying you. Actually, no, that's not great. And you have every right legally, and I know I keep talking about the legal stuff, I actually don't care about the legal stuff, but you do need to have someone on your team that cares about it, because as a creative, I couldn't care less, but I kind of had to. So in terms of the collaboration, know what your responsibilities are, but know what the responsibility is of the other person as well. Please don't just do verbal agreements if you're doing a commercial collaboration with someone, because they get messy really, really quickly. And you want to have recourse. Both people want to have recourse. And it's often when you're a creative, you just, I don't know, you kind of don't stand in yourself and go, okay, yep, they're doing this and this and this with my artwork and I don't like that. Often we just kind of let it slide, but again, it's about protecting your intellectual property, and like once it's out there, it's out there, so if there's a mistake or something in it, like that's on you if you haven't done your due diligence in things. Yeah, next slide. Celebrate hard. Okay, so this is the bit that I love. So hence my, Katrina's brought along our, her little magazine, and sing it from the rooftops, be proud. Like, collaboration is really hard work. Like, you've got to get to the point where, you know, you all agree on things, you might have had to jump through 50 million hoops. So when it comes around to the time and everyone's seeing it, even though it might be 6 months later and you're really tired and you're sick to death of talking about it or looking at it, make sure that you, celebrate the wins, because they're really few and far between these days. Create your network and find your people who celebrate you, because it is and it can be a really exhausting process collaborating with people. because you're managing like your expectations but also their expectations as well. I think that's about all I really want to say.
We can ask a question.
And then, yeah, you can ask questions because I'm very tired and the brain's not working really well, so I probably haven't articulated things very well, but...
Yeah, there it goes. I was going to say all right. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, whatever, I'm loud. Does anyone have any questions for Emma?
I'm glad to, but I was trying to be polite.
Very professional. Actually, also one of the things I wanted to ask you about is you're a Ngarrindjeri artist. You do contemporary Aboriginal works, and for all of us who are wanting to work with First Nations artists, particularly visual artists, do you have any advice around how to make that collaboration feel culturally safe from the get-go?
I'm so glad you asked that question, Stacey. We may have had a conversation about this before we started. So ICIP, so Indigenous Cultural Intellectual Property. So whilst it's not legal, it is something that you need to be aware of in terms of your protocols when dealing with First Nations people. The First Nations person or artist that you might be dealing with, they are there to give you guidance, but they are not there to carry your cultural load. You need to educate yourself, but you also need to ask questions. And the thing that I find really frustrating is that our culture has been so politicised that people are too scared to ask an Aboriginal person a question because, you know, they don't want to be called the R word. But if you are asking the question of a First Nations person and you're coming at it with, you know, an open heart and you really want to learn, unfortunately, like First Nations people tend to speak quite a bit and you won't be able to shut us up. So we want to work with you, we want to help you understand the right way to approach things, and I talk about this when I work with little kids all the time. It's not actually like us telling you, it's about us walking together side by side, which is essentially what you do in a collaboration anyway. So if you are wanting to learn about working with a First Nations person, just ask them a lot of questions and you'll figure it out together, what feels okay.
And there are some really good resources and guides that actually we've been collating at RAV, so we can point you guys to that, and I'll try and make time to add it to the resource wall, but I can share some things around afterwards. That there are some cultural protocol guides produced by Creative Australia, Creative Victoria, so our organisations are trying to help us to do the right thing, so there's definitely help out there that you can use to ground yourself and get a bit of understanding and then build those relationships and have that person-to-person connection to...
Or phone a friend, or message me on Instagram, whatever it is. You know, to me it's just about making safe practice for the next person. So if I'm working with somebody, if I'm working with a company that starts with M, for example, I've tried to hold their hand through a whole process that leads them down a path that makes it culturally safe for the next person. Sometimes they follow kicking and screaming, sometimes they don't follow at all, and sometimes they get there eventually after a 5-year period of working together. Wasn't so great for me, but great for the next person coming through, and that's always my goal.
Awesome. We've got one question, time for one very quick one. Yes, here we go.
Super quick one. You spoke a lot about... You look like I shouldn't ask. Don't be nervous. A lot of great wisdom in there about the shift into a really commercial world with your creative work. What's that tension between just wanting to be creative and having to do it in a commercial world?
That's a really great question. So I don't compromise myself for those arrangements anymore, and I'm lucky that I've been in a position to be able to say yes and no to things. So it's about now what actually aligns with what I'm happy to paint. So, and I get this quite often. It might be a corporation and they'll ring up and they go, "Oh, can you paint me a artwork for our wrap? We've got to tick these boxes." And I'm like, no, that's not how it rolls. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to engage in things. So, unfortunately for people, when they decide to work with me, they actually get educated whether they want to or not. And if they don't want to, I go back to slide 1. Don't work with those types of people.
Excellent.
And I just do want to give a quick shout out. I actually work with Regional Arts Victoria for their touring program. So I work with little people all over the state. So when you support Regional Arts Victoria, it's not just about events like this, it's about educating students, teachers and wider school communities. So if you ever have an opportunity as a creative to have a chat with one of these guys, and if education's your thing, put your hat in the ring. They'll help you do all of the things that you need to do. And there is no better feeling than leaving a school knowing that you've just dropped this beautiful pebble into their pond and the ripples are going to go out everywhere, and it's a beautiful experience. So yeah, that's me done.
Yes, we're very proud to be part of the touring program. So schools can book Emma in to come and do like workshops and weaving and First Nation art, all the things. And she's like, no, I'm too busy, leave me alone.